We gotta go to like a beer bottling factory. Putting gloves.
I love our theme song.
It's pretty good.
Hey everybody, I'm Bill.
Oh, and I'm Matt.
And we're losing it.
We are losing it.
We are losing it.
We are losing it.
So, it's an update show.
Update show!
How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's a good week. Except my broker won't let me out of my contract until Monday.
What?
I know.
That is terrible.
I know.
So, have we even mentioned that yet?
No.
We haven't even talked. Okay. Guys, Bill and Matt... Oh, that's awful. I can't talk about myself in third person. That just feels wrong.
Bill and Matt are great. Bill and Matt are amazing. You don't mess with Bill and Matt. Bill and Matt are realtors.
Bill and Matt are realtors. So we're both realtors. We work for different companies right now.
Until Monday when we get to work together. Forever. It's going to feel like forever.
It will feel like forever. It'll be a weekend like, oh.
Why did we do this?
This is terrible.
I think it's going to be fantastic. I think we're finally, now that we've been friends for 25 years, I think we're finally at a place where we can work together.
I think so.
And not ruin ourselves.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about working with you.
I'm excited about working with you.
Really excited about it.
Yeah.
So,
I'm excited about the move too. I think it's a great company. Atlanta Communities, I think, is going to be a good fit for me.
Yep, I think so. I'm going to be happy to have you on my team.
And we're going to be skinny.
Well, not like next week, not Monday. So
No, Monday.
So if anyone sees us on Monday, we're still very fat.
I bought these tapeworm pills from Europe. We're going to be skinny quick.
Excellent. I'll take 4.
That's too much.
You took too much. Cool.
So, diet-wise, how you been doing this week?
Terribly.
Yeah.
Terribly, and it's
Fist
not
bump?
it. Yeah, that didn't sound quite as meaty. Like here's our fist. We'll go back to the diet thing. Our fist bumps. Does this sound like 2 sirloins hitting each other? Do it again. Does it sound
Sounds
like
delicious.
Does it sound like just 2 sirloins just slapping together? That's just our meaty, fat fist bumps. Anyway.
If we did that quickly, it would sound like I sound when I run.
Like you can't hear my body making sounds over my wheezing. So
Right. Fair enough.
yeah.
And the puking sounds are just horrible.
That only happens every like 12 or 13 feet. Yeah. All right, I'm not gonna do them. All right. Okay.
But you've been doing terribly.
This week has I don't think the diet that I'm on is hard, and I think I've given myself like written in enough like leeway because I can literally eat like 2 hamburger meals a week and still be within my diet realm. I've blown that a bit out of the water this week.
Right.
I've eaten a fair bit of meat and cheese. I had pizza for 2 different meals. Like one dinner and then breakfast the next morning.
Because you have leftover pizza. What are you going to do with it?
Yeah, I got to get it out of here. And then that's kind of been my mentality this week is that like I have all this stuff in the freezer that I can't bring food home and load my freezer or my refrigerator with good food because of all this stuff in there. So I've been trying to like eat a little bit of it. So I've definitely gone over my meals, and I was sick
Oh, yeah, you are.
for a couple of days this week.
Maybe you're giving yourself too much leeway. Because maybe to begin with, you have to create the discipline so that you can later have a little bit. Because I know if you give a Coke addict a little Coke, he's going to want more.
Yeah, just a little bit of Coke. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would help. This weight loss thing. No, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I do believe that like at some point there needs to be like a hard cut on what you do.
I'm also not a proponent of drastic changes.
No, I have not fared well traditionally
Yeah.
with drastic changes, which is why my diet has within the first week morphed a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Mine has too, actually.
while I did cheat a lot this week, and go above and beyond my 10% of meat or whatever, I like paid for it a lot. I had just a lot of gut trouble all week, and one thing I found interesting, I don't remember if I've noticed this before, but before we started the diet, I was having a lot of difficulty sleeping because my back would hurt like a lot.
Yeah.
I wake up a bunch of times through the night with just my back hurting. It feels like my spine is all out of whack. It feels like my spine is swollen, like inflamed, and it's just not sitting right. And our bed, like my bed is so comfortable, like I can't believe it's the mattress. I think it's me. Anyway, since I've been on the diet, I've been sleeping really good, and I haven't had that problem. And then this week, that problem has kind of started to come back, where I haven't, like, as much as I've been sleeping, but like my back has been hurting a lot. So, and now that I've been eating cleaner, it's getting better. I actually slept pretty good last night. So I don't know. I don't want to necessarily say that that's what it is, but like it's feeling really much like me eating meat like inflames my spine. Some doctor out there is like, and then there's like 4,000 people like, you're stupid, because I feel like it feels stupid to say that, but like,
Well, a bad diet it causes
all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff. Yeah, it doesn't just stay in your gut or in your fat.
And like I'd never thought of meat and dairy as an inflammatory thing. I'd never even, that hadn't been something I'd considered. But I've been having all this intestinal problems, and it feels like my gut is inflamed. And then coming off the meat has really seemed to help that, and also help my spine. So weird.
Well, hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us for Bill and Matt are going to whine for a half an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me tell you about
Hold on. Every week, that's Matt's side. I'm gonna be like, well, I was hurting. I exercised once, and then I hurt all week.
And then you'll get sunshine from Bill's side. Yeah. Oh, my week was fantastic. Let me tell you about all the wonderful things that happened to me. It takes balance. That's why we're friends.
I'm a bit of a complainer.
No. You're
Thanks,
fine.
Thanks, Bill. So, Bill, I just told you about my entire week.
Yeah.
How was your week?
It was fantastic. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So somewhere in the interim, I think it's been since our last podcast, I listened to a stupid TED Talk with this lady talking about insulin resistance.
Yeah.
And started talking about the glycemic index stuff, which I've heard of and considered before, but I haven't really done anything. And I realized it wasn't far off from what I was doing already, so I adjusted my diet a little bit and cut out the grains more or less completely, and tried to stick to a little more glycemic friendly diet. I've been doing really well on it.
Excellent.
I know ironically, I've been sleeping great this week.
Good.
Because, last week I was having some insomnia. This week, I won't say I've been sleeping great, but I've been sleeping.
That's good.
So, yeah, I can't complain about that.
Yeah. I mean, you could complain.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not my role in this conversation.
It was awful. I slept so good.
My bed's so wonderful, and I have 1,000 thread count sheets, but I can't sleep.
Because it feels so good. Just lay awake like, this is so good. How can I sleep?
Yeah.
Life is hard.
But yeah, I had a good week.
Good.
I didn't exercise as much this week. I only walked. I had one good walk.
Yeah.
On Wednesday. But I think that's it. I think that's the only walk I took this week.
I think it took a medium, like a 15-minute walk on Tuesday, and then I walked again today. Not on purpose, but it was at work.
I walked around the grocery store a couple of times. That counts, right?
Sure. Yeah. How long did you spend shopping?
20, 30 minutes. But it's a lot of stop and go. It's not constant.
If you spend an hour in there, we'll count it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It gets dangerous if I spend an hour in the grocery store.
That's very true.
That'll ruin my diet.
Just on the outside edge.
Walk around the grocery store for a half hour.
over and over again. Yeah. Low glycemic index diet.
Yes.
Can you tell me what does that mean? What is a low glycemic diet? How does that even work? How would I go if I don't know anything about what that is? So how would I be? That's not true. I've been on one. I love it. But
but for the listener,
I don't know why I needed to be like, oh, but I do know what it is. It's really important that everybody know.
I know. But if I didn't, you would have to tell me. What does that mean?
I think there's some therapy.
Just so
sessions.
I know that you know.
I need you to know that I know what this is. It's very important to me. But if I was one of those people, no. I think I need to see a therapist.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, thanks, Bill. It's true, everybody. I do. I need to see a therapist.
I have the squeakiest chair.
Well. Which one's squeaking?
Both of them.
This is okay. Here's the game. Here's the game for people at home. Ready? Whose chair is squeaking right now?
Is it mine?
Or is it mine?
Call in with your guesses right now. We'll be here waiting.
You in the back, raise your hand. You know who you are.
So glycemic index.
Oh, thank you.
It doesn't make a lot of sense when you're choosing foods because some foods you think should be totally loading up your blood with sugar is not. And some foods that you think shouldn't do. But basically it's the effect that a food has on your blood sugar. Certain foods, you eat it, you get a really quick spike of blood sugar, which causes your insulin to go crazy trying to keep up with it. And then that causes it to drop, and then you're hungry again. Whereas other foods digest more slowly and cause your blood sugar to have a nice slow rise and it stays steady for a much longer period, which has a much gentler effect on your insulin level. And thus on your weight loss.
So it's like if your hormones were a car driving down the road, and you veer too hard to the right. You eat too much sugar,
right?
Or you eat a loaf of white bread, a loaf of white bread, and so you hook it really hard to the right, and then you overcorrect. Or say you're gently sliding off the edge of the road and you overcorrect hard to the right and then you overcorrect to the left and then basically your car flips over.
Right.
So that's kind of your hormones and it's not just your insulin. Your insulin triggers like a waterfall of other responses, hormone responses.
Absolutely.
So you have it's like the speed wobbles You know, if you've ever seen like a motorcycle or
Yeah,
a bicycle or a skateboard just start wobbling underneath somebody, you just do that to yourself. You're just like, I'm gonna have 4 Twinkies, you know, and then you get this like huge increase of insulin, and then this huge crash. And then it's just like this whoop, 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 and you keep doing it over and over again.
Well,
because
you're
then you
hungry
crash.
again,
Now you gotta
exactly.
eat to bring it back up. So
And then on top of that, there's something called the glycemic load.
right,
So the glycemic load takes the glycemic index and then takes into account how much actual carbohydrates are in a food. So for example, like watermelon has a very high glycemic index. If you eat equal amount of sugar versus watermelon, it'll be comparable. But when you consider how much actual carbohydrates is in a serving of watermelon, it's actually pretty low. You can have a nice serving of watermelon and it's not going to affect your blood sugar all that much because there's in a serving not as much as you'd think.
and the way the fiber
And the fiber slows things
in the
down.
watermelon will slow down your absorption of the sugar, and acids in the food will slow down the absorption of sugar. So sourdough bread is a better choice than wheat bread
I did not know that.
because of the acids from the whatever it is that makes sourdough.
Yeah, wheat bread is about as bad as a Snickers bar. I mean,
Yeah.
they're comparable in how it affects your blood sugar. Wheat bread is not a healthy thing to eat.
No, when I was on the glycemic index diet, I was blown away to learn that I would be better off eating 5 grams of sugar, table sugar, versus 5 grams of white bread.
Yeah.
Because the way they've processed the flour in white bread, it turns to glucose faster than table sugar can, which is insane to think
Yes,
about.
yeah.
And no wonder you love white bread.
Right.
But like you're literally better off having a slice of chocolate cake than a white bread sandwich. So Bill, is being on a low glycemic index the only change that you've had?
No, I've also started to eat a little less meat.
Okay,
Thank you for asking, Matthew.
no problem. Why are you eating less meat?
I don't know. It just, like I said before, I don't have any real ethical reasons not to eat meat. I mean, I kind of feel bad about it sometimes, but really I give my body what it's asking for, and it's not asking for meat right now.
That makes sense. As far as like, I'm glad you brought up the ethics of being vegetarian or vegan. I could have an ethical complaint.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
I purposely
one.
not think about it very much because it's...
I come at it from a meat eater's perspective.
Right.
I'm just like, well, if I picture the cow living the way it does in the pictures,
Yeah. It's not even that we're That's not even that we're killing something and eating it. It's the life it has before we kill it.
that's what I'm telling
It's
you.
just horrible.
Like, I have no problems like murdering animals and eating them. Like that doesn't bother me.
As long as they're happy before I kill them.
Yeah, it's the lifelong torture
Yeah.
idea that seems
I
awful
agree.
to me. Okay, my diet. Yeah, I'm still trying to push for the mostly vegetarian, vegan-ish kind of thing. I'm not as concerned with the wheat and the sugar. The sugar, I guess I'd never really said anything about. What I've noticed at the end of the week, though, is that I'm starting to kind of want to come off of the wheat a little more and really want to come off of the sugar a little more, even though I'm like guzzling soda. It's ridiculous.
It's funny, though, how when you start to change your diet in a healthy way, your body starts to react. Once you get over the initial, like, mad cravings, your body actually starts to, like, oh, this feels better.
It does. Like, as much as I've been eating poorly this week, this is also the first time the last 2 days where I think to myself, hey, I think I might kind of want to eat this meat thing. And then I'm like, not even a little bit, actually. I don't. I really don't. I don't even know. I used to love to wake up in the morning and go have like a chicken, egg, and cheese bagel at Chick-fil-A. That thing is so good. I get a slice of tomato on it.
Yeah.
Delicious. I don't want one at all. Like, I don't want one at all. And I love eggs. I love poached eggs where you cut them open and that, like when it's kind
Nice
of
runny yolk.
runny but thick. You know,
Yeah,
it's like warm butter, or something. It's like its own hollandaise. You know, it's so good. I It would be nice, I'd eat one, whatever, but like I'm not gonna order one. I don't need one, which is unusual. Like I don't need to have that. Today I didn't want anything like that. I had vegan oil-free breakfast, so that's something I've started to get into as well, as maybe reducing my oil intake as well. So
Certain oils, yeah.
no, all of them, any oil. Try not to eat it, really. And by try, I mean it's when it's really convenient for me, because it's not something...
So you mean like processed refined oils, not like the naturally occurring fats in food?
Right.
Okay.
So I'll eat avocados and things like that, but I'm not going to go buy like avocado oil. Or I'll eat a coconut or drink coconut milk or have something with coconut milk in it, but I'm not going to go get coconut oil. Now, granted, I'm going to cook things, and sometimes I'm going to need to fry them, and I'm going to need to put oil in the pan or whatever, and I'm just going to do that and just deal. But like, what I'd like to do is get to a point where I just don't do that anymore. I think that would be a good place for me. So if I could be off meat, dairy, and processed oils would be great. And then also reduce my bread and pasta intake. I'm still talking. What is this? What's funny?
I'm just imagining our conversation from the listener's point of view. It sounds like we just develop prejudices against certain foods for like half-baked reasons.
Well, next week it's going to be different.
I know, that's the
you
thing.
Might as well.
We're fickle.
And the oil. Okay, the oil thing actually literally came from this. I was looking at some research about why vegans still have heart attacks and have heart disease and stuff like that. And they were actually showing how, like, when you eat meat, your blood vessel responses to the meat fats. And then they looked at the same blood vessel responses to processed vegetable oils, even coconut oil, vegetable oil, canola, olive oil. And it's very similar. It's like slightly better, but it's basically exactly the same damage to your body. So I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, so if I'm having the same like potential inflammation response from processed oils, then I probably need to just start chilling on them a little bit. So I'm not cutting them out necessarily, but I would like to, like, maybe one day be able to be like, yeah, I see how I could live a life where I don't eat that. Right now, I think it's maybe unrealistic, just because of the way I eat, but
yeah,
maybe in the future.
Speaking of watching stuff, I also watched, I did so much watching of stuff this weekend, and I wanted to talk about it. I cannot remember any of it. But I watched Adam Ruins Everything.
Oh, Adam Ruins Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did a weight loss a show. And the long story short, the takeaway was don't bother.
Right.
Because you're never going to lose weight and keep it off.
Right.
Because the harder you try, the slower your metabolism becomes. And you're just going to get to the point where you can't keep up anymore.
Well, that's not even true, though.
I know.
That's only true if you're winding down your metabolism. If you do a shock diet. If you do a shock diet, that drops your metabolism. If you hold your calories back too low, there's like a
if you
kind of like a VO2 max kind of thing. If you like,
you know
what I mean. If
any kind of diet that restricts your calories in any amount below your daily need is gonna slow your metabolism slightly.
That's you below your daily need.
Right.
That's the trick in there is you gotta be able to.
But then if you're giving yourself more than your daily need, how are you going to lose fat? What's going to incentivize your body to burn it?
Exercise, because exercise will promote your metabolism. Well, then that
increases your need.
It increases your need, but it increases your metabolism as well.
Right.
So you got to have metabolism, stretching, exercise. I think even like positive freaking attitudes are like.
That was the other thing. Thank you. I was reading an article on the internet today that had the milkshake experiment. And basically, I'm gonna mess it up. But basically, they took one milkshake and split it into 2 cups. One cup they wrote.
There's like 3 jokes I've already decided not to say.
Thank you for passing on. It was a chocolate milkshake.
Okay, I'm still not saying any jokes.
So they took one milkshake, put it into 2 cups. One cup they labeled like super decadent 600 calorie delicious milkshake.
Right.
The other one they labeled sugar or fat free super healthy 180 calorie milkshake.
Right.
And they measured the hormones that register hunger before and after. And what they found was that the people who were told that it was a super decadent, disgustingly fatty, healthy or unhealthy milkshake, their hunger hormones went away.
Nice.
And the people that thought that they were drinking a super healthy diet one, they still had hunger hormones, which just shows like how much of a part of your brain plays
Totally.
and how you metabolize food. Well, I think we've rambled on probably enough for an update. We've got to save some content for...
What the only thing we haven't talked about is actually how much we weigh.
Oh, you're right. We haven't talked
about our weigh-in yet. So, weigh-in, roll weigh-in music.
That was wonderful.
We have different ideas on what the roll-in music's going to be.
No, we just have 2 halves of the whole.
Two halves of the same beautiful thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Bill.
Yeah.
How much do you weigh this week?
The weird thing is I had the exact same thing happen to me this week. So I weighed... Oh, God. I need to have a graph. I need to write this stuff down.
You're writing it down is not bad.
So it was what?
It was 378 or 379?
Yeah, it was 378. 378. Okay. On Friday. Last Friday.
Sure.
On Monday, I was at 375.
Okay.
So again, on the weekend, when I don't really stick to my diet as strictly, and definitely don't do any exercising, I lose 3 pounds. And then throughout the entire week, when I'm fantastic and strict on my diet and do everything I'm supposed to, except for walk this week, I lost another pound. So I'm down to 374.
I used to watch. I used to watch Biggest Loser all the time. Did you ever watch that show?
Yeah.
So with Jillian Michaels and
other people,
Bob Harper. I love Bob Harper. I don't know why I forgot his name for a second. But Bob Harper had a heart attack recently.
Really?
Yeah. Like massive, very serious heart attack. But he survived it, so that's good. He suggests that everybody get their cholesterol checked, even if they're healthy vegans.
Yeah.
Because he was unaware that he had a very bad cholesterol problem. So that is sometimes genetic.
Yeah.
So just
your body creates
test that stuff.
Cholesterol. So.
Yeah. So, anywho, in public service announcement. The more you know.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah. Okay, what was I saying? Oh, Biggest Loser. I used to watch Biggest Loser all the time. And what I noticed is, like, every time they had this temptation challenge, right? They have temptation challenge, and they would be, like, locked in a room with peanut butter Snickers and all their favorite desserts or foods and whatever. And then, like, one jackhole, inevitably, every episode that there's a temptation challenge, for whatever reasons, it decides to eat an asinine amount of it. Right. So he just gorges himself on this stuff. Every time that happened, that was the person who had the Biggest Loser for the week.
Really?
He always lost the most weight. He or she, whoever it was, always lost the most weight. Or had this huge loss, you know? It was just like, man. And that's what it is, because your body's been kind of like starving itself, and you give it this like burst, you know? And it's just like, it just amps up from it, you know? And then they also pump heavy into exercise after to try, you know, because they feel bad about it. So you get all that fuel, and then it's terrible for the body, but like, but they get this big loss off of it. So, because they ate 2,000 extra calories and jelly beans or something, you know. God. I know, right?
They threw up half of that.
Exactly. So
that makes sense. But yeah, altogether, I lost 4 pounds this week.
Nice segue.
Thank you.
No, congratulations. That's really, really good.
Thank you.
So I was sick this week. I did a lot of not good things this week. I ate a lot of really poor food. So that's my excuse. So, all right, everybody at home, did I lose weight or gain weight? I lost 3 pounds this week.
That's amazing.
I know.
That was 4 last week and 3 this week?
It was 5.
5 last week.
Was it?
Yeah, I think
it was 5. 5 last week and 3 this week. So I actually didn't expect really to lose weight this week because I probably had 2 gallons of Dr. Pepper this week. I've had a lot of soda and a lot of meat and at least like a whole pizza. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but it just goes to show that just the little reduction that I'm doing is having a real impact on me. So,
and I want you got to consider how much of that is mental too, because we already talked about the effect that your mind can have on it. Maybe the fact that you are trying to lose weight.
Maybe, yeah. And what I
not to get all the secret on you, but
yeah, I am trying to lose weight, but I also have purposely made the wrong choice this week. And it's not like I did it on purpose for some science experiment.
Right.
I did it on purpose because
you want to indulge.
I wanted to indulge this week, and it actually made me really uncomfortable. So it wasn't like losing weight because I was so happy eating pizza and ice cream and drinking soda.
Yeah.
Because I was actually really uncomfortable and sick all week. So, and in bed.
And that was the other thing.
Very lethargic.
That was the other thing I read this weekend. I read an article about this guy that decided to weigh himself every hour over the course of a long weekend. Mm-hmm. And the gist of it was, if you weigh yourself once a week, you don't really know how much you weigh because you can go up and down 4 or 5 pounds within a day.
Yeah.
So if you weigh yourself at one time during 1 week and another time during another week in that cycle, that
sure, I always weigh myself first thing in the morning.
Right, and that's the best way to do it.
I weigh myself the same time every day, but today I weigh 317. So
awesome.
Yeah,
you're gonna break 300 soon.
That'd be nice. So, and if I could actually eat healthy, I might do that. I'm losing weight, but I feel good. I've been feeling good. So, except for the rest of the week, actually, I feel good today. Anyway, that's our episode.
Oh my God, I think we're getting better at this. And I hope you agree, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you agree.
Oh, man. All right.
But be excited because next week we have another full episode that we have no plans for yet.
So last time I said there was a big secret super surprise.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't have one. I'm going to have to edit that out.
That's the surprise.
Suckers! Surprise, we're letting you down again.
That's no surprise. But next week we have a surprise. It's super awesome.
Super amazing. You got to tune in for next week's super awesome surprise.
Thank you again, everyone, for some reason listening to our podcast again. And we hope you come back next week to hear the amazing surprise that we have and to see how little we know about weight loss.
Little. That was a skinny joke.
I like it.
Okay, and bye, everybody.